Hello everyone. So in the previous video I showed how to create uh, the illustration generator for our magic card generator application. In this video I will show how to create the parameter generator. So like we can see here, the magic card has a lot of different parameters like the card name, the card cost, and the card color, its text, it's playing its abilities, and the flavor text, that's just a piece of text that doesn't have any effect in the game but refers to the actual character being displayed in the card. The card type, its power and toughness in case of creature cards. So here we are going to use also artificial intelligence to generate these parameters. We are going to use GPT 3.5 to do so. So okay, so the first thing to do is to import the JSON module to parse the parameters. So now we are going to create a function to request a JSON object from the OpenAI API. So here we're going to system message, default empty, and temperature equals 0. Okay. So we create our OpenAI client like before, and then we perform the request to the chat API. Chat completions, the create, use model. Here we're going to use GPT 3.5 turbo. And here we are going to set the response parameter. The response parameter will ensure, response format parameter will ensure that the actual response from ChatGPT is a valid JSON format. So although we can request some JSON structure to the API without this option, maybe it will not be a valid JSON, and when we try to parse it, it will throw some exception. So setting this parameter here will ensure that the API will return a valid JSON object. So here you set the temperature, like the parameter temperature. And now we are going to set the message that we are going to send to the API. So here we're going to first set the system message, that is tell the system how we expect it to behave. So the content we are going to use an str to ensure that the system message is a string. In case someone inserts some invalid object, it will parse it anyways here. So okay, here we can remove this. It is not useful at all. So here the next step is to append to whatever system message we create to instruct the API to return a valid JSON, to return a JSON object actually. Answer in JSON format. Okay, so we may ask if we're already telling it to return a JSON format, why set this option? Well, like I said, this option will ensure that the JSON object returned is a valid one. So probably on its internals, maybe if it doesn't generate a valid JSON, it retries to it generates another object a little different until it generates a valid JSON. So it's basically on server validation of the JSON object, and it will iterate until a valid JSON object is found, and then return it. I think it's something like this that this option is doing. So with our system message set, we can go and create our user message that will display the actual content we want the chat to respond to us. So now we return a parse JSON, so response.choice, choice index 0 message and content. And okay, so let's see if this is working. So let's try give me, and what can we say, Windows 11 specifications. And let's see if it returns a valid JSON. And what happened here? Oh, I forgot. It's choices. Again. All right. So it returned a valid JSON object here. So our function is working. So we can see that it returns a JSON that operates system, that Windows 11, and the processor, it made something. I don't know if this is the minimum requirements to run Windows 11. Maybe it is. And 4 gigs of RAM, etc. Okay, so now we have our JSON, general JSON object return function. So with this function set, we can finally create our function to get our card parameters. So get card parameters. Okay, so card name. Card parameters. Generate JSON object. So here we're going to use a triple quote, double quotes, so we can create text in multi-line fashion. So okay, so here we're going to tell the ChatGPT to, for the given card name, let's put inside double quotes, generate the following Magic the Gathering card parameters in JSON format. Okay. So we now create the schema for the JSON format we want to the ChatGPT to return us. So here we need to use this double bracket here, because since we are using an F string, a single bracket will be used to parse variables, to include variables. And if we actually want to print brackets, we need to use double brackets. So here we set the name as a type string, and color we instruct it to return a lowercase string. The cost we instruct it to return a list of letters or numbers. So here, I already tried this before and this works fine. So basically it will use letters for Mana's colors, like fire, no, not fire, red, blue, black. And when we have a mana that displays a quantity, it will use a number here. So actually what it will turn is something like 6 red. It may be some case that it will not return in this format, but this is what we expect it to return. So okay, now we going to ask for the power of the card, an integer, its toughness, also another integer, and then ask for the card type, and then string. For the text, we also specify a type string, and for the flavor text, also in the string. And then finally we are going to create a non-creature flag. So we can use this flag to determine whether we use a card template for creature or non-creature cards. So I think it's this. All right. So here now I need to pass the system message. System message will be, you are a Magic the Gathering card generator. Okay, just this, and it will be appended by you will generate answer in JSON format here. So the temperature, we're going to pass 0 default, and I think it's this. And now we just return the card parameters, and we can test our function. So card parameters, make some card parameters, get card parameters. So once more, let's use Dragon here. Let's see whether it will. Okay, great, our function is working. So we can see that it properly returned a JSON object with the card parameters like name, its color, the card cost, following the instruction we did here, a list of letters or numbers, its power like an integer, its toughness as an integer, its type as a string, its text, its flavor text. Okay, non-creature. So since it is a creature, the non-creature flag is false. Okay, correct. So okay, so for this video is this, and I showed how to create a call to OpenAI API to generate our card parameters. So our parameter generator is done, and the next step is to create the render module. That is the most larger one that will consume more time to develop, but it's not anything hard. So stay tuned in the next video so you can see how we can start to gathering the card parameters and the generated image and put them together into an actual mesh the gathering card. Stay tuned. Bye bye.